Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to another exciting evening with Palmetto Racing League here for the StreetStock Series final recruitment race before the season kicks off January 7th. We're going to have a semi-quick 40-lap run here tonight. We will have two more races before the actual official season kicks off January 7th, but those will be preseason races. So there will be a little incentive for the drivers, but it's really just a way for the league itself to gauge roughly how many drivers are going to be gridding per race. Some of these tracks, I know there's a few smaller tracks that can only handle roughly, 30 or so drivers per grid. So I think there are a few races in the scheduled season. Season will also be getting posted to Facebook. I don't believe that that has been posted yet, so that'll be getting posted soon. And I think we may have a few races that will kind of run into that pit issue there of roughly 30 pit boxes or so. So be something to watch out for. But for the most part, we should be able to run races with 43 average racers at any given time. So we'll see how that shapes out. Right now we're still in the practice phase of this session, as you can see there in the top left. Got the track map going. Should be a fairly decent race, and kind of curious to see who winds up taking home the W tonight. We'll kind of get the grid up here so you can see who's already in session. We'll say for tonight's session so far, all of these are newer names, so I think Adkins has been in one of our races before, the 11 car there. I believe he was in not last week's race. Some of you probably noticed that for the last 2 weeks it was supposed to be Darlington. Last week was kind of I believe because of the holidays and whatnot, it was kind of empty server, so we didn't have any drivers show. We had one guy show, so not much fun to watching one car go around the track. So hopefully, as it's already looking, if the grid stays like it is, we should have at least some competition tonight. As you see Adkins there getting into the wall a little bit. Uh, 40 laps again at Darlington. Halfway caution will come out at lap 20. Just, kind of make sure these guys are running 30% fuel cap, 2 sets of tires additionally. No rules on that have changed. So I haven't ran Darlington with that kind of setup in the StreetStock, so I'm not exactly sure how many laps they're averaging per tank of fuel, but I can imagine it's probably not a lot. Another thing that Darlington is known for is eating up tires, so that'll play a factor in tonight's race as well. Kind of show you a in-car view of what these guys got going on in here. You can kind of hear the tires there, giving some screeching going on there. A little bit of sliding. Still riding up front with Brian Adkins here. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Thought we were having some technical difficulties there, but it was just our camera view changing to the 66 car there of Ricky. And back to Brian Adkins now. Hear the car popping a good bit there as he slows to a stop. Oh, not sure what was going on there. Number 6 of Matthew Sullivan. He is another new member to the league, and he's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure. Guess he's trying to get himself a workout there or get those tires nice and warm. Ooh, a little bit of rubbing going on there. Got a couple of guys sitting on pit lane. Be a 5-minute open qualifier as well, so as many laps as the drivers can get in on that. Looks like the 11 and 25 are going to get them some good challenge laps in there. Getting them a nice couple of wall slaps in on that also. Are we finna? Nope, he just keeps glitching out. Not exactly sure what he's got going on, but he's definitely having some technical issues there. So far, fastest time in practice is showing to be Stephen Gall with a 34.186, and Scott Wilkeson is right behind him. Oh, he kept from hitting the wall. Quick little slide out there. Alright, we are going to go ahead and kick off our race info there. You see your track map. A cool, brisk little 67-degree temp. 75% humidity. Cloudy, showing winds to be at about 8 miles an hour. Should be fairly decent conditions for a good race tonight. See how things go. Should be getting ready to start qualifying here shortly. Alright, that was the end of the practice session, so we'll take a look at those results one more time. Still showing Stephen Gall there with the fastest time for the practice session as we get ready to kick off this qualifying. See who can lay down the fastest laps here and score them a good spot, not only out there on the grid, but also pit spots as well. We are looking at the 45 of Brent Thompson there. Wait for these guys to get some completed laps in, and that qualifying grid should start filling in. Looks like we're just running into all kinds of technical difficulties out there. Car going in and out. iRacing had a decent size update the other day, so showing Brent Thompson right now on the 45 with a completed lap. So far he has the pole position there. I might have spoke a little soon. Looks like Stephen Gale in the 25 just took it from him. And the 66 just took it from him. So everybody's starting to get some completed laps in here. We'll see who'll be kicking this thing off. Ooh, a little bit of wall scrape there from Brian Adkins in the turn. telling you, man, Darlington is rough on tires. I uh, I foresee a lot of wall scraping going on tonight. It tends to happen a lot at Darlington, especially for those guys who like to ride that outside line there, getting too close to that wall. And once you get into it, man, it's hard to get off of it, especially trying to do so without losing any speed. So far we've got 7 drivers who have completed laps here, and I'm showing Simmons to be pole position right now, so he's got the fastest lap. And that's him in that number 10 car there. Ooh. Another wall slap there by Brian Atkins. Should be about ready to wrap this one up and get this thing started. Alright, so we are all done with qualifying. Looks like Kyle Simmons took that first place position in qualifying. Second will be Brent Thompson. Ricky in the 66 car there will be third. Stephen Gall in fourth. Brian Atkins in fifth. Jacob Harvey in sixth. Matthew Sullivan in seventh. Brian Gravel in eighth. Scott Wilkinson in ninth. Dustin Haynes in 10th. And number 11, the 83 there, is not participating in this race tonight. Not sure why he's in the leaderboard, but that is your starting grid lineup as we get ready to kick this thing off.
All right, everybody, good luck.
I did not mean to run the paint job. Sorry, boys.
See, you got your hentai paint on. Like that.
This is my league paint. I'm the diaper boy.
The diaper boy, what the fuck? Can I get a mic check? 10-4, Brian, I got you. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Don't apologize now for boy. That's funny.
Not sure if you guys can hear it or not. Some of the drivers out there
Yeah, I want to see this.
being funny pre-race. All right, getting ready to get underway here.
And we still got 8 minutes. Shit. I think if everybody grids up, it'll self-advance, won't it? Yeah, but I think that they just set it to a 10-minute timer. But I don't know. The hell, this is like my first or second hosted ever, so.
Thank you for the host. Appreciate it.
If everybody's already gridded up, you should be able to advance it.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties. That's why the timer's been extended. Just wanted to give a quick rundown real quick. I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight. I know there's a handful of you, and I appreciate you coming out. Just real quick, 40 laps around Darlington will be a halfway caution at lap 20, going into 21. So time P1 crosses onto lap 21. Caution will come out. Cause of cautions will result in a EOL. Nothing too crazy here. We don't clear blacks for speeding in the pit, so watch your pit going in, or watch your speed going in the pit. 2 sets of extra tires and a 30% fuel cap. So if you've looked at your fuel and noticed that it's probably lower, it's because it is. We run these at 30% fuel and 2 extra sets of tires. So best of luck to y'all, and we'll get started.
10 more.
All right, I do believe we are about to go green here.
I love this format. Love it. All right, let's have some fun.
Hey, the only reason I locked in here because there ain't nothing on official this week, I feel like. Nothing good, at least. I've been playing with the new cross carts. They're kind of fun. I thought about, were those free?
Yep.
Yeah, I need to check them out. They look cool. I seen them. I was like, shit. They're little slider carts. You got to slide them around everywhere.
I'll throw one up after this. You guys aren't doing anything.
I gotta get up at 3 o'clock.
Starting first or second?
I'm born second or third. I don't know.
I start second.
All right, pace car is off, so we are fixing to go green here. 40 laps at Darlington. Let's do it. We'll be taking you up front some of these cars during the race and kind of show you what they're seeing.
That's a great start. Thank you.
I believe we already had an incident here.
We gotta love it.
Let's take you back for the instant replay here and see what happened. Oh, the 11 lost control. Ooh. Got into the 25 there. Take you back one more time, show you a cockpit view. Oof.
That's a great start. Thank you.
Yeesh.
That's a great start. Thank you.
Not a good way at all to start this one at Darlington.
Fuel damage on lap 1. We gotta love it.
No caution come out for that. Most likely because they were toward the back of the pack there. No one else was wrapped up in that. With Darlington being as big as it is and only having, we're showing 8 of them on track, so not exactly a need to call for a caution there, which kind of sucks for those drivers because now it's gonna stick them a lap down, but that's how it goes. Sometimes it's your race and other times it's not. I've definitely had my fair share of moments like that, so I definitely get it.
So that's not a caution. I'm just gonna get wrecked on the first lap, and he's gonna drive on and no caution. Yeah. Hey, more.
Just because of the size of Darlington, you guys were able to get off the track before it caused any commotion with anyone else. That's why iRacing didn't throw a caution.
If I've got anybody watching the broadcast, can you guys hear the radio traffic okay? Is that coming through or is that just showing up on my end? Looks like I've got a few viewers. If anybody wants to drop me a line in the chat there and give me some feedback on that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just helps me make the quality of your broadcast better.
You guys are cooking.
Who's cooking?
Looks like it's turning out to be a pretty good race with Simmons in first place there, followed by Brent Thompson in the 45, Ricky in the 66 car. 3 of them kind of grouped together there. I think that a lot of that space in between Ricky and who are we showing there behind him? Haynes and the 3 cars, probably a result of that collision that we had back there. And it looks like Brent Thompson has jumped out.
I didn't think so. I kept it down in my lane.
Yeah, I just leaned on him. That's the only reason you stayed in your lane.
A little bit of trash there. Trash talk amongst the drivers there. You gotta love it. Talking about Brent Thompson there in the 45. A little bit of door rubbing going on. Just letting him know he's there, that's all.
Go ahead, Ricky. You got the speed on me. I'm gonna go.
Thank you, sir.
just crossed into lap 10 now, so got about 10 more to go before that halfway caution comes out at lap 20. Kind of get these guys gridded back up together and kind of a fresh start. Hopefully the second half of the race will go without incident. And see the 3 there, he's trying his best to catch back up to the 3 of them. I think they've got a little bit of draft going on as well, so we will bring up our battle box here.
Steven, just hold it together for the halfway caution. We'll get you back on the lead lap.
Chastain, eat your heart out.
Bring up our little dashboard panel there. See Simmons there running about 130 into the turn. I even dropped down to 128-ish. Running pretty solid.
That'll cost you eventually, Ricky.
Just remember, I raced you clean. I didn't hit you at all when I passed you.
I wouldn't hit you when I passed you, but that blocking, I'm old, I'm twitchy, I'm not on the brake that quick.
Kind of getting up in there to each other pretty close here. Oh, Lord. Brent Thompson's having a little bit of a glitch out there.
Brent, you got a little bit of net code going on too.
Oh, do I? It's not showing up on my stuff.
Yeah, you're good right now. Every once in a while though, you'll kind of disappear and come back.
Just 8 laps to go now before the halfway caution here. And we'll get things underway for the second half of this race and see who we have come out on top as a winner. As I mentioned earlier in practice, this is the final recruitment race, so after this, most likely won't be any new drivers showing up for the street stocks. They'll be locking in
5
and
more laps to stage, guys.
running with what they got there. First race will be January 7th of 2026. Oh, no. Brent Thompson just got into... let's go back and look at that.
You can't change lanes because you think I'm about to pass you. That won't work. I had the inside.
Yeah, Ricky in the 66 looked like he come. Let's rewatch that again. See if we can get a better view on what happened here. Yeah, the 66 came right in front of him there. I don't know why this thing keeps automatically changing view cameras. I will say that did not. Oof. Couple of little bumps there.
You can't change lanes because you think I'm about to pass you. That won't work. I had the inside.
Dude, you're just never mind. Whatever.
I get it. You tried to block. It didn't work. I was already there.
A little bit of a disagreement on track there. Hopefully they get that all worked out. Start with a fresh grid here after the halfway stage. About 5 laps to go. Definitely like the number 3 scheme there on Dustin Haynes. It's just pretty simple, but it's still got a look to it. I don't know, maybe I might be a little partial, you know, being an Earnhardt Senior fan and watching him growing up. Maybe it's just the number 3 that's really making that car stick out, but that's definitely the same style Chevy that Earnhardt rode, so I like it though. I dig it. So it looks like Simmons is doing a decent job there holding on to that first position. Looks like he's going to finish out the stage here and in first maybe. I don't want to speak too soon. Anything could happen. Still got 3 laps to go. Okay, well, and a little bit of rubbing going on there. But the 3 is definitely trying to make his mark there. Stick it in and hold it. Got to watch it in the turns, though. It's easy to lose the speed and momentum in them turns. Simmons got his way back up front, but that 3 is hot on him.
I appreciate you, Ricky. It's fun racing with you.
And that is going to be the halfway caution there.
I wasn't telling you to check the replay, buddy.
Jeff Anderson, thank you for the subscribe, buddy. Appreciate it.
I'm checking up the pace car here. Hey, forgot about
Let's get some of this stuff off the screen here.
Why are we stopping?
the pace car's really slow here.
Things can get a little hectic sometimes on these grid restarts. Well, I got one dipping off into the pits already.
You had me for a second there.
Got one taking his wave around there, so try to get him caught back up and on the lead lap. It might take an additional lap or 2 under caution to get everybody back on that lead lap. Looks like the 3, well, might possibly be all 3 cars going ahead and dropping in for their pit stop real quick. Oof, a little bit of a love tap by the number 3 to the 10 there. Got Two of them out there making those laps back up. One being that of Stephen Gall there and Ricky in the 66. Both of them looking to get back on that lead lap, and hopefully everybody does a fairly decent job of staying with one another and making it a close race. Be nice to see a little battle here between these guys. And hopefully we will be doing the broadcast for both of the preseason races. First preseason race will be December 17th, same time, 6 p.m. And then the second preseason race will be after Christmas on the 31st, so New Year's Eve. Know a lot of folks probably have a lot of plans, so I definitely look for the grid to be a lot. I look for the grid on the 17th race to be a lot bigger. I imagine there's been a requirement put out for these two preseason races that everyone who has signed up for the StreetStock series and has themselves registered up to run for this race for the season, they have to participate in one of the two preseason races, and there is a bonus incentive for the drivers. First, second, and third places of both of those races will be awarded bonus points, with first place taking home 15 bonus points, second taking home 10, and third place taking home 5. Those points will be added. Those points will be added to the overall standings of each driver in those respective places after the season opener race. So it'd be could be a nice help for some of these guys, especially if, you know, with the season opener they don't exactly have a great start. Could kind of help them not be so far behind, but then again, if somebody gets out here and actually...
All right, everybody should be all caught up now, so should be going green next time around.
Absolutely gets out there and dominates, could establish a really big gap. The point system, typically per race, first place usually brings home 40 points, with second place bringing home 35. And every position,
I think you're supposed to be on the outside.
every position below second is minus 1 additional point to probably about halfway down the top 40. And then the points they go down slightly more till they trickle to the bottom, getting down to 1 point for like the last 5 positions. So yeah, potentially someone could win both preseason races and the season opener. Instead of starting with only 40 points for the season standings, they could potentially start with 70. So we are back green here with a nice little jump out there from the 45 of Brent Thompson.
I got a black flag.
Let's see if these guys can keep it together a little more than the first half. Kind of going single file here. Looks like the 10 of Simmons might be trying to sneak out after catching some draft. Kind of losing the momentum a little bit there in the turn, and Brent Thompson had a nice save there in the 45. You hear some wall scraping going on there. Looks like the number 11 of Adkins is still kind of net coding a little bit. It's what we call unstable connection. They kind of blink in and out of the race, and a lot of times, especially during official races during the season, if that's an issue that persists, they may be asked to park for the remainder of the race just so that they don't, mess up the race for someone else, especially due to no fault of their own. That actually happened in another league that I was handling race control for Wednesday night. They had a similar issue going on. A lot of the guys on the track were experiencing a lot of netcode issues, and we had a weird caution that was just a complete freak accident. One of the guys, he blinked out for a minute, and when he came back in, he was in somebody else's hood. So naturally, it wasn't as bad of a pileup as what you would expect. It definitely sounds way worse than what it wound up being, but it definitely put two of them back, and I think wrapped up a couple more in it. But they were able to get into pit lane pretty quickly, get themselves straight, and back out on the track. So netcode can cause severe issues. Kind of spread out a little bit here. Looks like 45 of Brett Thompson's trying to catch back up to that number 3 there. Kind of going single file in the turn. See our top 5 positions there on the battle box. All jockeying for that first place position there. Currently being held by the number 3 car. Definitely think he chose a fitting paint scheme for tonight's race, considering this was Darlington and all, and the history that Earnhardt Sr. had here at this track. He's doing a really good job of holding it together there and keeping her off the wall, yet still maintaining his speed. Sounds like he was feathering the throttle a little bit. The number 6 of Matthew Sullivan. Take you up front with Stephen Gall here, currently in 4th place. Brent Thompson currently back in 1st, but how long will he hold on to it? That 3 is sneaking right on by there. Oh, kind of got into each other a little bit there. Brent Thompson getting a little squirrely there, coming out of the turn. Look like the 3 scraped the wall just a little bit. We got 8 laps to go before we conclude this one. See the number 10 there of Kyle Simmons. Currently running in 5th. I have to look at my schedule here, but I do want to.
Damn, 3, you can't come down like that, dude. Apparently I can't. We survived. Oh, yeah.
A little smack talk out there. Gotta love it.
Smart ass man, I'm trying to get it out.
A lot of these guys got good personalities, though. You hear them cutting up and joking there.
We're trying the apron line.
The season opener will be, as I've mentioned before, January 7th, 2026. Oh, the 3 got into the 45 there.
66.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
That wasn't very cool.
Woo! That was fun.
I'm not sure that caught that.
Oh, them getting sideways, and I just ended up turning. At least you didn't wreck.
Well, at least I know you can get under me.
Yeah, I'm going to pause that for just a second. Take you to our Be Right Back screen. I'm going to run this replay back. Actually, I'll put it back on the live and just run it back. Try to get that replay here so we can kind of see that happen again. Give us a little bit better of an understanding on exactly what happened. Looking at it from that camera angle doesn't really do it much justice. So let's go up front with the number 3 here. And then we'll get back to live here shortly. Oh, yeah, he kind of got in.
66.
Kind of got into his side a little bit there.
That wasn't very cool.
Woo! That was fun.
Oh, them getting sideways, and I just ended up turning. At least you didn't wreck.
Well, at least I know you can get under me.
Yeah, of course, that's going to trigger us a caution there. You see the pace car coming out on the track.
That's kind of fun, though.
Pace car is, for some reason, a lot slower.
Yeah, maybe next time you beat me.
Some good clean racing.
Pace car is a lot slower to come out of pits here for some reason. But then you see him out on road courses like Laguna Seca, and man, it's like the pit truck can't wait to explode out of the pits there and run 70 mile an hour on the track while everybody else is struggling trying to stay in the turns just to keep up with him. It's almost like you got to run the road course at a little bit milder pace than what you do actually racing just to keep up with the pace truck. That was a mess for anybody that caught the truck
You legit, Dustin. You ain't got to turn me.
the truck series race. That was intense.
Three, as much as I hate to do it, that's going to be a EOL for call to caution.
So the 3 car there of Dustin Haynes, unfortunately, has to drop back to the end of the line there. Got himself an EOL.
Do it, man. Y'all were putting on a hell of a show up there.
I was ready to race him door to door to the end, too.
He'll find his way back.
But as I was saying, he caught an EOL penalty there, end of line. So that means he has to drop all the way back to the pack. If this were a bigger grid and there were lapped cars, he would still be ahead of the lapped cars because he is still on the lead lap here. But He drops back to the end of the line there, and it's one of the penalties in racing that a lot of leagues follow using. Some other things you may see is a drive-through penalty, which is where they have to under
It's gonna be a 3-lap shootout.
under caution or not, green flag racing as well. They have to come through and drive through pit lane at the pit speeds, and then enter back out onto the track. Then you have stop and hold penalties where the officiators can have them pull in the pits, stop in their pit box, and hold them for 26, 40 seconds. I don't think I've really seen anything outside of that too crazy. It just tries to help encourage some clean and competitive racing. And we are about to go back green here. Pace car is off. We're going to be starting back up with the 25 car there. Simmons has moved his way back up to second place there. Stephen Gall in that 25 car. Looks like Simmons is going to try to... Oh,
I hear wrecking. Yep, 45 front left.
45 did not turn him around. He came down on me. That's
they sound like the 45 of Brent Thompson there just heated. Let's go back and take a look at that real quick. See what happened here. Let's try to get a better view here. Coming into the turn. Oh, yeah, it looks like
I
the
hear wrecking.
6 came down on him.
Yep, 45 front left.
And you hear him.
45 did not turn him around. He came down on me. That's it.
Oof. We'll go back and take a look at that one more time, but we'll check it out in the in-car. See the 6 there. He kind of comes down into the 45's lane and spin out.
I hear wrecking.
Yep.
Yep, 45 front left.
But there will not be a caution for that. Just because it's 2 laps to go, so we're within that three lap for the green white checkered basically. And there's our white flag indicator there. So this time around we'll be wrapping this thing up. And it looks like Kyle Simmons is holding down that first place position. Let's see if he can keep it around. Looks like that's going to be it. He's going to take home the trophy as he crosses the finish line there.
Boys, those are good times.
Good job on the.
I want everybody out here for a burnout finish line, if that's okay.
Race. I wasn't trying to actually get the bumper in the line.
So that is going to be our
I was just
official results there. Kyle Simmons in the 10 car first place. Stephen Gall in second place. Ricky in the 66 there in third. Dustin Haynes in fourth. Brian Adkins in fifth. Matthew Sullivan in sixth. Brent Thompson in seventh. Jacob Harvey in
Hey, if all of
eighth.
y'all do want to do burnouts, that'd be a good photo for the YouTube thumbnail.
I already wrecked her, but yeah, we can do that.
So we got him out here doing donuts now. A little bit of post-race victory here, and he chose to celebrate it with everyone else out on the track.
Appreciate it. I thank all of y'all for coming out tonight, man. If you haven't signed up for the league, find the Discord link on Facebook. Jump in with us. Season starts January 7th.
Hey, will you, can you post your link in the chat?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I didn't know if they were clickable in the chat or not, but I can definitely post it there. Give me 1 second. Let me get it.
All right, so after a little post-race celebration there, that is going to do it for us.
Cars like they don't cost money.
Tune in again next week on the 17th for that first preseason race. That will be at Bristol, 100 laps at Bristol. Again, there will be a little incentive for the drivers there to earn some bonus points to give them a push start on the
Thanks, buddy. I'll
the official season opener.
catch you on that.
But that'll be on the 17th at, well, my apologies. That'll be on the 18th at 6 p.m. The actual race will be happening on the 17th.
There you go, bud. I just posted it.
Broadcast will happen on the 18th at 6 p.m. So
Cool, thanks, guys.
be sure to be looking out for us. We thank you again for
Appreciate you
joining
again,
us
bud.
and
Good job out there.
hope that everyone enjoys their evening. And y'all enjoy the rest of your evening.